kick and the purple tops and the gold pants going right to left. Here's the kickoff by number 12, one of the captains, Kalen Massey of the Eastmont Wildcats. The return is up the right side, and the return man has some room to run, and is he going to be caught? And he's ridden out of bounds by Massey. That's a huge return from the Vikings to start this thing off. That is number 9 on the return, Caden Nelson. Oh, excuse me, that's number 2 on the far side of the field. It was hard to see. That's Ethan Stewart. Stewart plays a little slot receiver for this Vikings team. 7 touchdown receptions on the year, and you can see the speed there as he takes the kickoff all the way back to the 44-yard line of Eastmont. The quarterback is Jacob Holcomb for Puyallup. Their head coach, Gary Jeffers. Back-to-back SPSL 4A champions. Holcomb's going to throw on first down. He can run a bit too. Holcomb takes off, has yardage out to the left side, picks up a block. Oh, and they're going to throw a flag on that block for a blindside block on Darius Morrison. He didn't go high, but they're really cracking down on those blindside blocks on defenseless players. Obviously, safety in the game of football being of the utmost importance. So on the first play from scrimmage, we have an Eastmont player down. I didn't see who the player was that went down. And that's a tough play there. I mean, Morrison looked like he did everything right. Yeah, they called an illegal crackback block on Morrison. And these receivers for Puyallup, they are big. Morrison, 6'3", 175. His counterpart, Justin Haas, 6'3", 205. They're not going to, it looks like the officials were going to let the kids start to play as the ball gets moved back. So it's going to be 1st and 13 from the 47-yard line. And we'll try to get a jersey number for the player on Eastmont that was down. But we'll go to my broadcast partner, Justin Pleasance. Justin, I know you played at Sumner High School, rival of Puyallup. You know, I'm sure that these young men can hit out there for the Vikings.
Oh, yeah, they can definitely ring your bell.
Not going to be a biased broadcaster, though, even though he was a member of the rival Sumner Spartans of the SPSL.
I mean, it's all in good fun.
We hope this young man's okay. It looks like he's sitting up. It's kind of hard to tell right down here in front of us because the players on the Puyallup bench are standing right over him. So now they're going to have the players come off the field, but we'll talk a bit about these two teams. So we talked about Puyallup, that 9-1 record under Coach Gary Jeffers. Their quarterback, Jacob Holcomb, one of the very best this state has to offer. Over 2,500 yards through the air on the year. Can also run it quite a bit. He had a huge day in their matchup last week in the crossover game against Kennedy Catholic. Holcomb's older brother, Nathaniel Holcomb, actually had the record. He was the sole holder of the record for most passing touchdowns in a game until that mark was tied this year by Sam Heward of Kennedy Catholic with 10. So it's Heward and Holcomb, 10 passing touchdowns in a game. That's the record in the state of Washington. Of course, Sam's dad and uncle, Brock and Damon Heward, both went to Puyallup High School. It's kind of interesting there that those two teams end up syncing up in the crossover game last week. In a game where Puyallup really took over in the second half, ended up winning, I think it was a 30-point victory for Puyallup there. This offense is just a juggernaut of an offense with Holcomb at quarterback and Haas and Morrison at receiver and Kyle Kramer at running back, who ran for over 1,100 yards this year for the Vikings. This defense, though, for Eastmont, it's going to be fun to watch them try to slow down this Puyallup offense. The defense only let up just over 2,000 yards on the season. giving up just 116 points on the year, so only allowing 11.6 points per game and just over 210 yards per game in the 10 games they've played so far. So out of that Columbia Basin Big 9 League, Eastmont didn't have to play a crossover game in Week 10, but they did have a league game against Wenatchee, one that they had to win in order to advance. If they had lost that game, there would have been a three-way tie in the league for first place, and teams advanced to the state tournament in the 4A level. There was a committee that seeded those teams, 1 through 16. Puyallup got the 5.
Sir, I pulled you over today to ask you one thing. Is it true that Apple Valley Honda has a free lifetime warranty on every new Honda?
Officer, I'm glad you asked. Our lifetime warranty comes free on all of our new Hondas. That means you won't have to pay a dime for any major expenses. That could save you thousands. And no, you do not have to service with us. It's a great peace of mind, officer.
Wow, my wife and I have wanted the new Accord. We'll see you this weekend.
Hey everyone, did you know that the NCWLIFE
Kind of takes the excitement out of the game. Anytime you see a young man go down like that, doesn't matter what the quality of the player is, you always hate to see that. But Puyallup will have a 1st and 13 after the 15-yard penalty on that previous play. And because the penalty happened down the field, it's from the spot of the foul. After the run by Holcomb was marched back towards the 50, thanks to the penalty by Morrison. So now 3 receivers right, 1 to the left for Holcomb, and here's the give to Kramer. Kramer right up the middle with a nice hole, gets it across the 40 to the 39-yard line. It's a nice pickup of 8 yards there for Kramer. That'll bring up a 2nd down and 5. So Kramer 14 rushing touchdowns on the year, 2 receiving touchdowns for the Vikings. Pistol formation, 3 receivers right, 1 to left again, and Holcomb's going to keep this one. He picks up 1st down yardage to the 34-yard line, and it's the first down of the contest for the Vikings. So 1st and 10 from the 34. As the energy in this building has kind of been, or this stadium has been drained a bit with the injury in the early going. Out of respect for the young man, you understand why that is, and I'm sure we all understand how severe these injuries in football can be. Kyle Kramer with the run off the right side, breaking tackles. He's getting some help from his offensive line, pushing him forward, and that's a pickup of 6 yards down to the 28-yard line for Kramer. When the Vikings aren't wasting any time, they're right back to the line of scrimmage. Same pistol formation, 3 receivers right, 1 to the left. They motion into a shotgun with Kramer to Holcomb's left. Here's a little zone read. They fake the give, and they throw it out near side to Morrison. Morrison fakes a move inside, and then he gets wrapped up and dropped at the 12-yard line. It's a nice little option play there. They gave Holcomb the option to either give it to Kramer on the run. He could have kept it himself, or he had Morrison as an outlet, and he went with his 3rd option, which was Morrison. Good yardage down to the 12. Now here's a give to Kramer off the right side. He gets wrapped up and not letting him go. That's number 54, Jaron Snyder. Pickup of 7 yards down to the 5. That'll bring up 2nd and 3. And right back to the line of scrimmage are the Vikings. Offense is tough to stop. They are picking up chunks on this opening drive of the game. A drive that started at the 44 thanks to a long kickoff return by Ethan Stewart. Holcomb fakes it, keeps it, and then he gets hit in the backfield. And there's a lot of Wildcats on the spot, and it was number 7, Jeremy Gregerson, cleaning it up. It's a nice tackle there by Gregerson and good penetration by the defensive line for the Wildcats. So now a chance for the Wildcats to hold Puyallup to 3. That's a loss of a yard on the play, 3rd and 4. Coming up now for the Vikings. They have 3 receivers out to the right. Kramer in the backfield. Morrison, the lone receiver, to the left. There's Holcomb, takes the snap, fakes the give. In the first quarter. On for the extra point, it's Carter Pierce. Snap is, the hold is down, the kick is up and good. 7-0 Puyallup. That touchdown drive goes 44 yards in just over 2 minutes. Only a couple of negative plays there on 1 tackle for loss and the penalty on Darius Morrison on the first play from scrimmage. But other than that, this Viking offense looks potent. Again, 65 points last week in their crossover game against Kennedy Catholic. This Eastmont defense has been stout all year. We're going to have some things to figure out on the sideline after that opening march. Not a whole lot of time to get a word in there, huh, Justin? When the team's getting right to the line of scrimmage, it's hard to break down the action.
Yeah, it's just impressive to see these boys. Puyallup really has a squad.
I mean, the size they have on the outsides presents so many problems because you can't pack the box. Here's the kickoff by Carter Pierce. And return it, this is Massey. Massey gets hit and dropped right at the 25-yard line. That's where Eastmont's offense will take the field for the first time. So quarterbacking these Eastmont Wildcats is the big junior, the 6'6" Carson Everhart. He took over week 5 of the season. Massey was their quarterback to start the year, but the 6'6" junior took over the job, and then all Massey did was go on to win league MVP. Here's the give off the left side. This is Massey. He'll play running back and wide receiver, and Massey picks up 6 yards on that first down carry. The tackle by Danny Ului-Lakepa. And actually, they're going to give Massey 7 yards in that first play from scrimmage. Second down and 3 for Everhart in this offense. We didn't see Puyallup under center at all in that opening drive. Everhart's been under center twice now on the first 2 plays from scrimmage. Here's the give on second. Rusher for Eastmont this year. Wraps them up for a loss of yardage. Tally just over 1,000 yards on the year with 9 touchdowns. 161 carries too, a bit of a workhorse. Now 3rd down and 3, and actually they're going to say it was no gain by Tally on that previous play. So 3rd down and 3, 7:45 to go in the first quarter. Everhart takes the snap, Gives it to Talley, and they're going to go with the reverse.
Oh,
First down yardage is picked up. That's a nice looking play there. That's Jeremy Gregerson, who we saw make a big tackle. Not Gregerson, excuse me. The 2 and the 7 look alike. That's Victor Welton on the carry. Nice play call there from the Eastmont coaching staff.
that was a beautifully executed play right there.
Yeah, the play happened not very deep behind the line of scrimmage, and I don't think Puyallup ever saw the exchange until the ball carrier was past the line of scrimmage.
The fake almost fooled me.
Here's the give to Massey. Massey picks up a yard out to the 41-yard line. Second down and 9 from the 41 here for Everhart in the offense. Here's the give to Talley, and Talley has nowhere to run. Stacked up at the line of scrimmage once again. And this front from Puyallup is getting the job done, so we might see our first pass by the Wildcats here on 3rd and long. Everhart's pretty good through the air as well. Had 10 touchdowns and 3 interceptions on the year. Doesn't throw the ball a whole lot when you're able to run the ball with the success that Eastmont had all year. You don't need to throw the ball a ton, especially with the defense that you have behind you. But 10 touchdowns, 3 interceptions, over 600 yards, and he only played half the season. As you hear the Puyallup fans get a little loud, Everhart rolls out. Throws a little comeback route near side. It's caught. First down yardage into Puyallup territory. That pass is caught by number 20, Logan Easley. It's a nice throw on the run by Everhart. Not an easy thing to do as Easley picks up great yardage down to the 41-yard line of Puyallup. A gain of 18 on 3rd and 9. I like how Easley ran that pass, or ran that route past the first down marker and then came right back to the sticks, and then he had the quickness and the agility to pick up yardage afterward. 1st and 10 from the 41 of Puyallup. Here's the give to Talley. Boy, and Talley just did not have any room to run every time he touched the ball. Penetration on that play by number 58, Ethan Williams. The 5'9", 310-pound senior. Good luck moving him. That's a loss of a yard on the play. It'll be 2nd and 11 from the 42. Here's the give to Massey. Massey on the sweeper on the left side. He breaks through the line of scrimmage. He's going to go. No, he's tackled inside the 5, down at the 1, but there is a flag on the play. And right when he broke through the wave of defenders, the flag came in, and the flag sits right about the 35-yard line. Boy, how about the explosion there from Massey as he burst through the line of scrimmage. I think this is going to be a hold or a block in the back. And that'll negate the big run by Massey. It was a 41-yard gain by Massey, but it will come back. As you hear the officials scream the penalty out as they're at Carl Sparks Stadium. It's a 10-yard penalty that'll push Eastmont back to the Puyallup 45-yard line. So that's a spot foul from that 35-yard line. And there's a player down for Puyallup. Again, didn't get the jersey number there as the Training staff is huddled over the player, and we hope they can get up just fine. 4:13 to go in the first quarter. Coverage of tonight's game in the Wenatchee Valley on NCWLIFE is presented by Apple Valley Honda, where every new Honda comes with a lifetime warranty. So again, thanks for tuning in all across the state of Washington as we love bringing you coverage of the state playoffs, especially with the travel that is sometimes involved with these state playoff games. Once you get out of the league games and the district games, you get a lot more travel. You get teams coming over from Eastern Washington, Southern Washington, Northern Washington to this area to play playoff football games, and it's a great time of year to be a sports fan here in the state of Washington. That's Cohen Cleek, the player who is on the deck. He's walking mostly into his own power with a bit of a limp there. It's good to see him be able to get up and get off the field.
You have to give it to the Wenatchee families. They all seem to make it out here to the big game.
Yeah, the stands across the way are pretty packed with red for the for the Eastmont team. They got their red zone sign across the way. So 2nd down and 14 coming up here, and Everhart under center once again. 6'6" junior takes the snap and he gives to Talley. Talley bounced off the back of his own blocker who got pushed back, and that's Danny Uluilakepa once again. But it was Williams who got the initial penetration. Ethan Williams pushed the offensive lineman right back into Talley. Talley bounced off his own lineman, but then Uluilakepa with the great pursuit makes the tackle. He's a heck of an athlete. Oregon State was taking a look at him a couple weeks back. Certainly a kid that could play in the Pac-12 at the next level. Only a junior, 6 feet, 210 pounds. Plays running back and stars at linebacker for these Vikings. So now shotgun formation for Everhart on 3rd and 15 from the 46. Fakes the give to Talley. Straight drop back. Now he's going to step up in the pocket. He's going to take off and run. Makes one man miss. That was Uluilakepa, but then he gets dragged down at the 39-yard line. Actually make it the 39-yard line. So a decent pickup, and now this is kind of no man's land for the coaching staff at Eastmont. Coach Don has some decisions to make. It's going to be 4th and 8 with 3 minutes to go in the first quarter. I don't think you punt from this territory. A punt doesn't really do much for you. Even if you have a really good punt and you down it at the 10-yard line, it's still only a gain of 28. But then you have the situation where you have a touchback and you give the Vikings the ball at the 30 or at the 20, and it's only an 18-yard punt. The play clock is winding down 4 seconds, and it looks like they are going to punt it, but they're not going to get the punt off in time. That's going to be a delay of game on Eastmont. And they took some time to decide what they wanted to do on 4th down, and I think that caused confusion and the delay of game that you see there. Now 4th and 13 from the 44, and most definitely be a punting situation for Eastmont. End over end short punt that bounces around the 30 and then takes a decent bounce for Eastmont down to about the 23-yard line. And the punter is down, or that's Everhart that's down, I believe. I didn't see what happened to him in the backfield. But he's able to get up before the training staff has to come out, so good to see that young man walk off the field. 1:57 to go in the first quarter, 7-0. Pass from Holcomb to Cleek. Here's the give to Kramer. Kramer's got room to run. Kramer's up the middle. He's across the 50. Is anybody going to catch him? Inside the 30, and then he's dragged down around the 25-yard line. Make that the 23. Boy, good speed there by number 3, Wesley McElwain, to drag Kramer down, but there is a flag behind the play. That's the third big play in this game that's been called back by a hold. That hold happened around the 40-yard line of Puyallup.
It's penalties like that that'll really get you in a game this important.
They'll bring it all the way back to the 30-yard line. It'll be 1st and 4. Here's the option play. Holcomb with the pitch to Kramer. Kramer stiff arms the defender right as he goes out of bounds at the 34-yard line, and that'll be a 1st down Puyallup. So we haven't seen this Puyallup team go to the air too much. 3 receivers right, 1 to the left. Kramer in the backfield behind Holcomb. Here's the give to Kramer again. Kramer makes a man miss, and then he is chopped down. That's a nice looking tackle there by number 21, Jordan Jessup. The 5'5", 160-pound senior with a nice tackle and only a 2-yard gain for Kramer. They give him 3 on the play. 2nd and 7. There's a flag immediately, and Holcomb keeps. Holcomb's got good yardage up across the 50, now across the 40. He spins out of bounds, and I think there's an illegal shift or illegal formation on the Vikings, as that was thrown by the line judge on the near side, and the coaching staff for Puyallup is talking to one of their players. We'll wait for the official announcement, but this is going to come back. Yeah, it is an illegal shift, and that'll push this Puyallup offense back to their own 32-yard line, and Eastmont takes a timeout, but we'll stay right here with you. So Coach Don of Eastmont's 4th year with the program, previously the head coach at Meadowdale High School of Wesco. That Meadowdale team, Coach Don had that team going in the right direction. Matt Leonard took over for him, and then they ended up going to the state semifinals just a couple years ago in 2016. Where they lost to O'Day, and Kamaikan would eventually win the 3A championship that year. And this Eastmont team only making its 2nd state playoff appearance since 1986. Their last one came in 2012 when they lost 20-7 to Auburn Riverside in the 1st round of the playoffs. But in the 80s, this Eastmont team made the quarterfinals 4 times, along with 1 quarterfinal appearance in 1978. Puyallup now at the line of scrimmage after the Eastmont timeout. Holcomb looks to the sideline, gets the play call. Again, 3 receivers right, 1 to the left. Kramer behind Holcomb. Holcomb rolls out, then throws a pass down the field to Morrison, who goes up and snatches it out of the air. He's got to be one of the best receivers in the state. Had snagging footballs out of the sky. You see Morrison, the 6'3" specimen, do it right there. Holcomb takes a snap, gives to Kramer. Kramer just shot out of a cannon, gaping holes, leading the way for Kramer up to the 37-yard line of Eastmont. This Vikings offense, such a rhythm offense. You can see when they get this fast pace, when they get their tempo going, they're really tough to stop. I don't care how good your defense is in the state of Washington, you're going to have a hard time stopping these Vikings. Pistol formation again, option. Oh, and Kramer just snags the option and hurdles the defender. down at the 30-yard line. Kramer snatched the option pitch with his left hand and then hurdled the defender and picks up 7 yards down to the 30-yard line. 2nd down and 3 for Puyallup. Here's the give once again to Kramer. Kramer spins, then he gets hit and dropped at the 22-yard line. That tackle was made by Jerron Schneider again on the tackle. 27 seconds to go in the first quarter. Puyallup on this march looking for more points as they lead 7-0. Quick pass to Stewart. Stewart's up the sideline, runs over a defender, but he stepped out of bounds at the 10-yard line. That'll be 1st and goal. Well, they mark him out actually at the 11. So Puyallup will still be able to get a 1st down, potentially inside the 1-yard line. As Holcomb awaits the pistol snap, 13 seconds to go in this first quarter. Oh, a bad snap. Holcomb picks it up, though, and now he pitches to Kramer. Boy, what an improvisational play there. But the play didn't go anywhere, but Holcomb Welcome back here to Carl Sparks Stadium here in Puyallup, Washington for this WIAA 4A state playoff matchup. The first round between the Puyallup Vikings and the Eastmont Wildcats. Right now it's the Vikings on top 7-0. And knocking on the door once again as they have a 2nd and 8 from the 9-yard line. Holcomb's going to throw it quickly out to the left side. That's Morrison. Morrison is tackled after a short gain. So that'll bring up a 3rd and 6 for the Puyallup offense and a chance for Eastmont to possibly get a stop here. But boy, this Puyallup offense is looking sharp early in this playoff run.
They're kind of marching down the field with impunity at the moment.
Stewart in motion. And there's a flag on the play. I think it's going to be an illegal formation or false start, it looks like. Yeah, false start on Puyallup. That'll push them back another 5 yards. So that'll bring up 3rd down and 11. There's a real opportunity for Eastmont. Get the stops down in the red zone. That's kind of what football's become in this day and age. All the rules benefiting the offense. It's not necessarily avoiding yardage being put up against you, but if you can stop teams in the red zone, you're going to have a successful defense at any level of football. Here's Holcomb rolling out to his right. Has a man in the end zone, and is dropped by Haas. Well, that's unfortunate. Haas has had a great season with 11 touchdowns on the year. He was looking for number 12, but he just couldn't come up with the catch. And he'll come up with that 9 times out of 10, but maybe even more than that. But Haas certainly knows he should have come up with that one, and that'll cost Puyallup some points as now Pierce is on for the short field goal. But from the left hash, this is a tough angle for right-footed kicker. The kick is up and good. We don't really have a great angle on it, so I got to wait for the official signal, but it's 10-0 Puyallup after the 28-yard field goal by Carter Pierce. So 10:56 to go in the first half. Vikings on top 10-0. And Justin, I mean, the Eastmont offense did okay on that first drive. They had the one big play, which is called back by a hold. But because of where Massey was on that holding call, I'm not sure it was even too impactful on the play.
They looked good when they were throwing the ball.
Yeah, they had a couple nice, or one nice completion at least on the third and long. I thought Massey was effective. Everhart looked comfortable. But Puyallup is really, I mean, they haven't hit any big plays necessarily. It's been a grinded out type of offense so far for Puyallup, which is not what you're used to. You don't get 65 points in a crossover game by grinding it out.
No, but they do. You do win games by moving the chains, and that's what they're doing.
Yeah, moving the chains and then also finishing drives with points. I mean, at the high school level, you hear a 28-yard field goal. Doesn't necessarily, it sounds like a gimme, but at the high school level, it's anything but. Not every team has a kicker like Carter Pierce who can hit a 28-yarder from an angle like that. There's Pierce to kick it deep. Wesley McElwain. We got a small press box here, and you're looking through partitions to see the players, but that was Wesley McElwain on the return. Returns out to the 42-yard line. A nice return there of over 30 yards for McElwain, and Eastmont has some good starting field position. Their first drive started at their own 25. This drive 17 yards better. Now Massey's going to line up near side at receiver. Everhart under center. Here's the give to Talley. Talley bounces off a tackler, tries to get up the field, but there are too many Vikings in his face, and he loses a yard. Talley has not had any room to operate. Talked about his numbers earlier, but we'll give them to you again. 161 carries for 1,088 yards and 9 touchdowns on the year for Carson Talley. Talley was second team All Columbia Basin Big Nine. And Kalen Massey, the running back / wide receiver, was the league MVP, defensive MVP. Wes McElwain, a decorated team out here on the field for Eastmont. Here's Talley again. He's upended after a short gain. Pickup of about 3 yards for Talley out to the 44-yard line. That'll bring up third down and 8. 9:40 to go in the first half. Everhart looking at a 3rd and 8. He converted a 3rd and 9 earlier with an 18-yard pass to Logan Easley. Let's see if they try to get Massey involved in the pass game now. Massey, 387 rush yards on the year, 5 touchdowns. 476 through the air and 7 more touchdowns. And again, he started the year as a quarterback. Everhart fakes, going to roll to his left. Louis Lakepa's in his face. He makes the throw, and it is caught. With the interception was dropped, and then the pass was caught by number 8, Tanner Nelson.
That was a missed opportunity there.
Nelson came in with 8 catches on the year for 200 yards and 4 touchdowns. That was some great concentration there by Nelson to come down with that one. So 1st and 10 from the 44-yard line coming up here for Eastmont. Under 9 minutes to play now in the first half. How about the arm strength by Everhart on that last play, though, to even get that throw that far down the field, rolling to his left. Here's the give to Massey. Oh, Massey nowhere to run on that one. Louis Lakepa. Oh, no, that's not Louis Lakepa. Excuse me, that's number 40 on the tackle. That is Kyler Johnson, the junior linebacker, coming up with the stick. And they read that sweep perfectly. did that front of Puyallup, and they're getting so much penetration right now. Everybody's playing downhill. And that time, Massey gets hit in the backfield for a 2-yard loss. Second down and 12, 8 minutes to go in this first half. Everhart passes right side. Pass is caught by Massey. He's inside the 40, down at the 38-yard line. 39 is where they're going to spot him. They're going to mark his forward progress. Well, that pass was almost deflected. There was a linebacker buzzing underneath that route. I think that was number 29, Connor Jansen. But Everhart, again, with the arm strength to get that ball out there, and it'll bring up a 3rd and 5 for Eastmont. $7:15 to go now in the first half. Everhart under center. Here's the give to Massey. Or excuse me, that's not Massey. That's number 9 on the carry. Caller Cannon. Cannon picks up good yards and a first down. Couldn't tell if they were going to give him the first down, but they did move the stick, so it's 1st and 10 from the 34-yard line. Nice drive here for Eastmont. And most importantly, they're letting their defense rest a little bit, and they're picking up yardage and threatening to score here against this Puyallup team. Again, both teams 9-1 on the year. Here's the give to McElwain. McElwain picks up a yard. McElwain was the defensive MVP in league play. Both these teams undefeated in their leagues, won league championships. The SPSL 4A for Puyallup, and then the Columbia Basin Big 9 for Eastmont. And Eastmont had to win their last regular season game to guarantee that they get here. Otherwise, they would have been in a 3-way tie with Wenatchee and Sunnyside. 2nd down and 9 after the first down run. Everhart under center. Here's the give to Massey, and they're going to go with that sweep again. This is Cannon. Cannon spins down inside the 30. To the 29-yard line. Boy, there was a sea of bodies around Cannon, and he just kept spinning and moving forward, and before you know it, it's a 4-yard pickup. We saw that play earlier, and it's picked up good yardage both times they've run it, have the Wildcats. So 3rd down and 5, approaching the 5-minute mark in this first half, or excuse me, 5 minutes to go in this first half. Might be 4-down territory for the Wildcats. Let's see what Coach Don decides to do. They fake the give up the middle. Here's Massey on an end around. Steps through a tackle inside the 20. He has 1st down yardage at the 16. Nice run there by Massey as they fake the dive to Tally. And Massey came around the end and picks up great yardage. He had to make a man miss in order to get that 1st down too. He's got long strides, and he used those long legs to avoid a tackler. .4:30 to go now in this first half. Here's the give to Tally. Tally makes a couple guys miss. That's his best run of the day so far. Picks up 5 yards down to the 11. So Eastmont looking to get on the board here. And remember, Puyallup received the open kickoff of this game. So Eastmont, if they can get a score here, take some more time off the clock before scoring, they could potentially have back-to-back possessions and could potentially take the lead in this one. But first they got to get on the board on this drive. And they're still 11 yards away right now with a 2nd down and 5 for Everhart. And they get under center, 2 backs, split in the backfield. Here's the give. It's a new ball carrier who picks up a yard or 2 down to the 10. That's number 34 on the carry, Hunter Rule. Hunter's a stout young man, 5'10", 210. That's what he's listed at here on my roster. So now 3rd down and 4 for Everhart in the offense. Kalen Massey is also the field goal kicker, if it should come to that. Not sure exactly what his range is. The fake in the backfield, Everhart rolls out, he's gonna throw. The pass is deflected and nearly picked off, but it falls incomplete. That was number 29 getting his hand on it once again. He had the near interception earlier on the drive. Connor Jansen, the 6'1". Looks like it's going to be a field goal attempt here. A 27-yard field goal attempt. The kick is up, plenty of leg, and it is good. Boy, Kalen Massey. Talk about your Swiss Army knife. The young man could do it all. He starts the year at quarterback. He wins league MVP as a running back and wide receiver. He's got a leg like that. Oh, by the way, he plays some defense too. Kalen Massey puts Eastmont on the board with 2:53 to go in the first half. Coverage of tonight's game in the Wenatchee Valley on NCWLIFE is presented by Apple Valley Honda, where the Vikings still with that 7-point lead, but a nice drive from Eastmont. And I think I mentioned it earlier in the drive. The most important thing was that they just kept this juggernaut of an offense for Puyallup off the field for some time, let their defense get a breather. Even though most of these kids play both ways, it's different when you're the one doing the leaning on rather than being leaned on. Massey comes right back out to kick this one off. 10-3, Vikings on top. Back to receive, it's Stewart is the man. He had the big return earlier. He returned it all the way back to the Eastmont 44 on the opening kickoff of the game. Massey's kickoff is going left. Stewart is going to receive it inside the 10 about the 6-yard line. Stewart's up the right side, running through tackles. He's out to the 39-yard line. They're going to give him yardage out to the 40, and that's where Holcomb in this offense will take over. A 34-yard return by Stewart. It was a no-nonsense return, too. There wasn't a lot of wiggle in what he did. He just got up the right sideline. Holcomb in the pistol with Kramer behind him. There's the give to Kramer. Another gaping hole for Kramer, running through arm tackles out to the 49-yard line. That's a pickup of 9. That'll bring up 2nd down and 1. 2:30 to go now in the first half. Here's the pitch to Kramer. Been going back to that option look quite a bit, and it's been successful for the Vikings. They pick up 1st down yardage into Eastmont territory. There's another tackle by Jessup, who got Kramer out of bounds. 1st and 10 from the 46. The give is to Kramer. Kramer weaving through defenders. Across the 30-yard line, down to the 29, another 28-yard line rather. Another big gain there for Kyle Kramer. Kramer again over 1,200 yards on the year for Puyallup. 14 touchdowns, and here's another give to Kramer. Kramer meets Jessup once again. Those two have become real familiar. Jessup gets him to the ground, but not before another Puyallup 1st down. Clock stops to reset the chains. 2:03 to go now in the first half. 1st and 10 from the 17. Holcomb with the give to Kramer once again. Kramer is hit. And forward progress going to have him stopped at the 15-yard line. A short pickup of 2 yards. The clock is running. Puyallup does have all 3 timeouts. Eastmont has used one of theirs in this first half. Holcomb takes a snap. Another give to Kramer. Kramer through the line, up into the secondary, into the end zone. Touchdown, Puyallup. Boy, the holes that they're opening up for Kyle Kramer. I might be able to even run through them. I don't know if I could do what he's doing once he gets to the secondary, though. Kyle Kramer is starring tonight for these Vikings, and they're on top 16-3 pending the extra point. The extra point is up and good, 17-3. Puyallup on top. So 1:16 to play in the first half. This is certainly not where Eastmont's offense is comfortable with limited time, but the clock does stop every first down and 2 timeouts. Trailing by 14 points. You got to think Coach Don is going to go after this here and try to put some points up before the half, as Eastmont will receive the opening kickoff of the second half. This Puyallup team as the 5 seed, they are going to be a force to be reckoned with in the state tournament. The winner of this game takes on the winner of Mount Si, Mount Vernon. So the 2 Mounts going out. That's the 4 against the 13 seed. Mount Si being the 4 seed. That game is being played at Wildcat Stadium in Mount Si. We're in the shadows of Mount Si in Snoqualmie or North Bend. Carter Pierce, low line drive kickoff down the middle. It's bobbled at the 10 and then picked up and returned up the gut. It's a nice return for Eastmont out to the, across the 40. Oh, the ball's on the ground. The ball's loose and Puyallup has it. I got lost in a mass of humanity, and Carter Pierce, the kicker, comes up with it. That's a turnover. Vikings take over at the Eastmont 42. With 1:04 to play. Boy, it's a big that fumbled kickoff return. That was number 85 on the return, Corbin Keys. Holcomb fakes the give. He's going to pitch it out to Stewart. Well, that might have been in run play. I think Holcomb threw that backwards after he crossed the line of scrimmage. So again, it's kind of a version of the triple option. You have the running back, you put it in his belly. If you don't like what you see, you pull it out. Holcomb could run. He didn't like what he saw there. He pitches it out to Stewart, who's waiting out by the boundary. And Stewart picks up about 10 yards and a first down at the 32-yard line. So 1st and 10 from the 32. We're now under a minute to play in the first half. Holcomb takes the snap. Here's the give to who else but Kramer. Kramer up the gut, untouched, into the end zone from 32 yards out. Touchdown Puyallup. They are leaning on Kyle Kramer tonight. He's not disappointing, having a huge first half for Puyallup. 21-point lead if he converts the PAT. The extra point is up and good. 24-3, and you hear the band rocking here at Carl Smith. The stands mind whatsoever.
Not at all.
As the Vikings looking to advance to the next round of the playoffs. Last year, Puyallup won the SPSL, then got knocked off in the state playoffs by Monroe. Monroe's running back last year was Isaiah Lewis. He ran for over 2,000 yards. Now he's at Eastern Washington. It's always nice when you're from the state of Washington or in the state of Washington, you see these homegrown kids picking one of the local schools to go to. 24-3, Puyallup on top. So we get set for Carter Pierce to kick it deep. It's a higher kick this time by Pierce. Oh, and it's fumbled. McElwain picks it up. McElwain's able to get it out across the 20 and avoid disaster. That's a nice return there by McElwain after the muffed kickoff. So Eastmont's offense will take over at their own 23-yard line with 41 seconds to go in the half. 2 timeouts in their pocket. Saw Everhart throwing the ball out there pregame. He does have a pretty big arm. I'm just not sure the offense is built for deep pass plays. Let's see how Coach Don wants to play this. Let's also see how aggressive the defense for Puyallup chooses to be. Massey motions into the backfield. They're going to give it on to Massey on the sweep. Massey's going to get hit by a few Vikings and dropped right at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play. There's a timeout on the field. The Vikings want to take a timeout. They're going to try to conserve some clock. We've seen the one punt from Eastmont. It wasn't a great one. And now Puyallup with their 3 timeouts and 34 seconds on the clock. Looking to potentially put more points up on the board. But here's where you got to be careful. You take a timeout, you give Eastmont some more time. If they've just been okay with going in the break down by 21, knowing that they get the ball back next half. Now see what the Wildcats do when they come out of the timeout. Feels like they got to do something to get this Puyallup line thinking about anything besides the run. "15 seconds on the play clock as man goes in motion. Now more shifting by Eastmont. There's another sweep to Massey. Massey around the left side, gets through the line of scrimmage. He's into the secondary before he's dragged backwards, but that's first down yardage for Massey. It was a good tackle down the field. Otherwise, it could have been more damage by Sermon Wilson, the sophomore linebacker. Boy, sophomore, 6'1". Looking athlete there for the Vikings. The clock is winding out. The chains are reset. Eastmont looks like they might want to run another play. They don't have to. The play clock and the game clock are almost identical right now at 10 seconds. Everhart is going to throw. Everhart looking down the field, but then he gets wrapped up from behind, and that's a sack and a loss of yardage, and that'll bring us to the half. The sack on the play by number 15, Isaac Clark. We've played 24 minutes here at Sparks Stadium. It's 24 for the Vikings. 3 for the Wildcats in this first round playoff matchup. We'll be right back with more live coverage of the WIAA 4A playoffs next on the NCWLIFE channel and the NFHS network, courtesy of ABC JM Productions.
Peace of mind. It's what everybody desires when it comes to ownership of a car. When you purchase and service a car from Apple Valley Honda, we're going to give you a warranty on your new Honda, and it's going to be for life. As a car owner, you pay thousands of dollars to insurance companies to maintain the appearance of your car. At Apple Valley Honda, you'll pay nothing to help you maintain the mechanics of your car. And again, it's for life. At Apple Valley Honda, our customers are valued and they deserve the peace of mind that comes with a warranty for life. So come visit us. We would love to see you.
NCWLIFE Channel is proud to present the Spotlight on Business. We're going behind the scenes to bring you the story of local businesses throughout North Central Washington. How did they get started? And why are they so successful? We'll answer these and other questions each week with Spotlight on Business, Sundays through Fridays on the NCWLIFE Channel.
This is Honda listening to its customers. They did a poll and women overwhelmingly came back and said that a lifetime warranty would be most important to them. Hondas are already incredibly reliable, and this lifetime warranty just adds that additional peace of mind that if anything ever goes wrong, it's covered. Most manufacturers anticipate their cars to be on the road for anywhere from 7 to 10 years. With a Honda, you're getting 15 to 20. Now with our new lifetime warranty, it's going to be extended even beyond that.
Hey everyone, did you know that the NCWLIFE channel is North Central Washington's go-to source for news? Catch the evening news weeknights on TV, online, or Facebook. If local sports is your thing, tune in to High School Sports and the Wenatchee Wild each week. Looking for local stories, people, and events? NCWLIFE has you covered with Wake Up Wenatchee Valley live on weekday mornings, or enjoy a variety of local programming throughout the day. See NCWLIFE on LocalTel Channel 12 or Charter 19. Stream it live or watch it on demand at ncwlife.com. NCWLIFE, a reflection and a spotlight on the community we call home.
Do you have a fun or interesting video you'd like to see featured here on the NCWLIFE channel? It's easy. All you have to do is send us an email at newsphotos@ncwlife.com.
Hey everyone, Fletcher and Amy Ellington here from Live It Up. In the investment world, ROI stands for Return on Investment. Well, how does better health, better wealth, and better relationships sound for ROI? Join us every week right here on NCWLIFE and learn how to invest in the most important asset, you.
We're going to answer your questions and provide some weekly inspiration so you can create a life that you love. Join us on Live It Up.
There's no substitute for the power of cable TV advertising. With Solion Cable TV Advertising, you can reach your target audience right here in North Central Washington. We understand their viewing habits and can precisely target your customers on great cable networks like these. Call Solion Broadcasting today and let us show you how to put your business message right in front of thousands of prospects at a very affordable price. Solion Broadcasting, 509-888-2020.
Todd's a great boss. Sometimes he can be a little intense.
Adam, how about a lunchtime run?
I'd love to, Todd, but I gotta... Oh, Mr. Jones, you made it! I'm glad you can make it. You're really gonna love our lifetime warranty on all new Hondas. Let's walk and talk.
Oh, the running thing? It gets them hustling. I consider myself a great motivator.
Hey there, Wenatchee. I'm Sean Lee, and I'm inviting you to check out the NCW Movie Guide to keep up on what movies are playing in our town.
Yes, we are live from Studio 2, and I am Dan Koontz. This is Wake Up
Wenatchee Valley. We got news, we got sports, we got weather, we got obscure holiday, today in history, birthdays. Tom Potter joins me in studio. How are you? And Rod Cool is my guest today. The expert is mine. We're broadcasting live from Studio 4, from Studio 2, Studio 7 here in downtown Wenatchee. Time for the obscure holiday of the day. Your dog to work day. Beautician's Day. It's National Selfie Day, and in honor of National Selfie Day, I'm going to take a picture of myself.
Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. Mornings at 7 o'clock on the NCWLIFE channel. Hey everyone, did you know that the NCWLIFE channel is North Central Washington's go-to source for news? Catch the evening news weeknights on TV, online, or Facebook. If local sports is your thing, tune in to High School Sports and the Wenatchee Wild each week. Looking for local stories, people, and events? NCWLIFE has you covered with Wake Up Wenatchee Valley live on weekday mornings, or enjoy a variety of local programming throughout the day. See NCWLIFE on LocalTel Channel 12 or Charter 19. Stream it live or watch it on demand at ncwlife.com. NCWLIFE, a reflection and a spotlight on the community we call home.
Sir, I pulled you over today to ask you one thing. Is it true that Apple Valley Honda has a free lifetime warranty on every new Honda?
Officer, I'm glad you asked. Our lifetime warranty comes free on all of our new Hondas. That means you won't have to pay a dime for any major expenses. That could save you thousands. And no, you do not have to service with us. It's a great peace of mind, officer.
Wow, my wife and I have wanted the new Accord. We'll see you this weekend.
Do you have a fun or interesting video you'd like to see featured here on the NCWLIFE channel? It's easy. All you have to do is send us an email at newsphotos@ncwlife.com.
NCWLIFE channel is proud to present the Spotlight on Business. We're going behind the scenes to bring you the story of local businesses throughout North Central Washington. How did they get started? And why are they so successful? We'll answer these and other questions each week with Spotlight on Business, Sundays through Fridays on the NCWLIFE channel.
Peace of mind. It's what everybody desires when it comes to ownership of a car. When you purchase and service a car from Apple Valley Honda, we're going to give you a warranty on your new Honda, and it's going to be for life. As a car owner, you pay thousands of dollars to insurance companies to maintain the appearance of your car. At Apple Valley Honda, you'll pay nothing to help you maintain the mechanics of your car. And again, it's for life. At Apple Valley Honda, our customers are valued, and they deserve the peace of mind that comes with a warranty for life. So come visit us. We would love to see you.
Join us for Street Talk and Other Stuff with Mike Magnotti on the NCWLIFE channel. This former police sergeant is plugged into not only the world of the streets, he's an actor and connoisseur of the arts. So join Mike and his guest for, well, Street Talk and Other Stuff. Mondays at 10 a.m., Tuesdays and Thursdays at 2 p.m., and Wednesdays at 5:30. It's Street Talk and Other Stuff with Mike Magnotti on the NCWLIFE channel.
Hey there, Wenatchee. I'm Sean Lee, and I'm inviting you to check out the NCW Movie Guide to keep up on what movies are playing in our town.
There's no substitute for the power of cable TV advertising. With solely on cable TV advertising, you can reach your target audience right here in North Central Washington. We understand their viewing habits and can precisely target your customers on great cable networks like these. Call Solely On Broadcasting today and let us show you how to put your business message right in front of thousands of prospects at a very affordable price. Solely On Broadcasting, 509-888-2020.
I'm Jenny Rojanasatian, and this is Guada TV. Every week we will be bringing you a first look at North Central Washington business, tech, and education news. You'll hear from local influencers and innovators who live right here in the Valley. Together we'll discuss hot topics, current events, and resources that can support your business, our schools, and this community. Join me every week, and let's get inspired.
Yes, we are live from Studio 2, and I am Dan Koontz. This is Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. We got news, we got sports, we got weather, we got obscure holiday, today in history, birthdays. Tom Potter joins me in studio. How are you? And Rod Cool is my guest today. The expert is Bonnie Orr. We're broadcasting live from Studio 4, from Studio 2, Studio 7 here in downtown Wenatchee. Time for the obscure holiday of the day. Your Dog to Work Day, Beautician's Day. It's National Selfie Day, and in honor of National Selfie Day, I'm going to take a picture of myself.
Wake Up Wenatchee Valley, mornings at 7 o'clock on the NCWLIFE channel.
So this is Honda listening to its customers. They did a poll, and women overwhelmingly came back and said that a lifetime warranty would be most important to them. Hondas are already incredibly reliable, and this lifetime warranty just adds that additional peace of mind that if anything ever goes wrong, it's covered. Most manufacturers anticipate their cars to be on the road for anywhere from 7 to 10 years. With a Honda, you're getting 15 to 20. Now with our new lifetime warranty, it's going to be extended even beyond that.
Hey everyone, did you know that the NCWLIFE channel is North Central Washington's go-to source for news? Catch the evening news weeknights on TV, online, or Facebook. If local sports is your thing, tune in to High School Sports and the Wenatchee Wild each week. Looking for local stories, people, and events? NCWLIFE has you covered with Wake Up Wenatchee Valley live on weekday mornings, or enjoy a variety of local programming throughout the day. See NCWLIFE on LocalTel Channel 12 or Charter 19. Stream it live or watch it on demand at ncwlife.com. NCWLIFE, a reflection and a spotlight on the community we call home.
Do you have a fun or interesting video you'd like to see featured here on the NCWLIFE channel? It's easy. All you have to do is send us an email at newsphotos@ncwlife.com.
Hey everyone, Fletcher and Amy Ellington here from Live It Up. In the investment world, ROI stands for Return on Investment. Well, how does better health, better wealth, and better relationships sound for ROI? Join us every week right here on NCWLIFE and learn how to invest in the most important asset, you.
We're going to answer your questions and provide some weekly inspiration so you can create a life that you love. Join us on Live It Up.
NCWLIFE Channel is proud to present the Spotlight on Business. We're going behind the scenes to bring you the story of local businesses throughout North Central Washington. How did they get started, and why are they so successful? We'll answer these and other questions each week with Spotlight on Business, Sundays through Fridays on the NCWLIFE Channel.
It's been great to see the community rally behind this team. It's been a lot different feel every year.
For a first-round playoff football matchup between the visiting Eastmont Wildcats and the hosting Puyallup Vikings. Once again, alongside my broadcast partner, Justin Pleasance, I'm Matthew Bissett. We thank you for joining us all across the state of Washington tonight as the Vikings lead 24-3 over the Wildcats, led by Kyle Kramer's 2 rushing touchdowns. We don't have the official stats on the game, but he is certainly up over 100 yards on the game. Having a terrific evening is the star running back for Puyallup. That offensive line, Justin, just opening up gaping holes for that young man, but he's capitalizing. We talked about during the break how he's just hitting the holes so fast. I mean, before you know it, he's at the next level.
Yeah, he's got that explosive speed to get you to the next level.
Scores from around the state. Approaching halftime at Mount Si, and Mount Vernon's on top 21-7. That is the 13 on top of the 4 seed at the 4A level. Union is cruising over Skyline in the 1-16 matchup. 50-10 in that one. Other scores from around the state. O'Day at the 3A level, they advanced today thanks to a 49-7 victory over Kamiakin. That was a rematch of the state championship game from 2 years ago. Eastside Catholic and Lake Washington being played at the same stadium where Kamiakin and O'Day just finished up. Only 7-0 early on. Eastside Catholic is on top. Bellevue leads Snohomish at half 35-7. So based on some of these scores, we actually have one of the closer games in the state of Washington today. Sometimes this happens in the first round of the playoffs. You get teams with different styles, and you know, you have one bad half of football and all of a sudden it looks like you don't belong there, but I assure you that's not the case. If you're one of the 16 teams remaining at any of these divisions, you belong where you are. Another score from around the state that's an interesting one is beats the 11th seed at the 3A levels on top of Lincoln 14-0. Yelm is beating Lakes 9-0 in the first half of that contest. Stillicum is on top 21-6 over Squim. That's about all the scores that I can find here. In that first half, we saw Kalen Massey, the Columbia Basin Big 9 League MVP, show what he's capable of, converting the field goal with an excellent kick from 27 yards out, and then also putting in some work on the ground. Everhart completed a couple nice passes at the quarterback position for Eastmont, but really it was the penetration of this Puyallup defensive front that was just not allowing Eastmont to get any rhythm. And even the one drive where they got into the red zone, Puyallup's defense held for that field goal by Massey. And the other side, Puyallup, they haven't really had to throw the ball that much. Holcomb is certainly capable with 37 touchdowns and 4 interceptions on the year, over 2,500 yards. But they've been featuring a lot of Kyle Kramer, and he's been gashing the Wildcats defense. Talked about earlier how the Wildcats only allow just over 200 yards per game on the year, which is a very good number. Puyallup certainly up over that 200-yard mark in that first half. So Kramer with the 2 touchdowns. The other touchdown was from Holcomb to Cleek. Cohen Cleek, who went down with an injury, came back out on crutches in that first half, and I'm looking for him on the sideline now. I'm pretty sure he's not going to return to the game. He kind of had a soft wrap around his foot. And you hope it's a precautionary thing. Maybe that young man can get back and play in the coming weeks, and hopefully his long-term health, he's okay. Carter Pierce, but 1 field goal, 3 extra points, and a fumble recovery in the first half for Puyallup. Gets it teed up to kick it deep. This kickoff return unit that had some issue with some fumbles late in that first half. Here's Massey, though. Massey fields it inside his own 10, about the 7-yard line, and he is hit right at the 20. And his progress is stopped. That's a nice tackle by the coverage unit of Puyallup. Connor Jansen, who had a chance at a couple interceptions in that first half with the hit and the tackle on special teams. They're going to give Massey forward progress out to the 21, a 14-yard return. Speed, athleticism, and size of Puyallup didn't even give an opportunity for Eastmont's blocking to get set up. So now the 6'6" junior quarterback, Everhart, in the offense will come back out onto the field. Here's the give to Massey on the sweep. Massey looking to get the right edge, and just too fast on the outside is that defense. That was Kyler Johnson leading the charge. That linebacking core for Puyallup is something special. Actually, they list Johnson as a defensive back, but he plays up in the box quite a bit. And then there's Ului Lakepa, who we've mentioned quite a few times, and Connor Jansen. You got some guys at linebacker who can play. Second down and 10 after no gain on first down by Massey. Everhart takes the snap, and they're going to give it to Talley. Talley now is wrapped up and then driven backwards by Ului Lakepa. Williams wrapped him up, and Ului Lakepa drives him backwards. And you'll notice that anytime somebody makes a tackle for Puyallup, he always has a friend or 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 right behind him to assist with that tackle. Never assume that your teammate's going to wrap him up, as Williams certainly had a hold to Talley, but Ului Lakepa made sure Talley couldn't even fall forward on the play. The second team all-league running back gets knocked backwards. Third down and 9. Not where you want to be if you're any offense, but especially not this Eastmont offense. That is Darius Morrison, who's able to fall on top of it and avoid the bigger mistake of losing the fumble. So Puyallup will take over right at their own 40-yard line. 9:28 to go in the third quarter. And here comes this Puyallup offense once again. Let's see if we'll get a heavy dose of Kyle Kramer once again. Hole comes in there, awaiting the shotgun or the pistol snap. Fakes the give, and then they're going to pass. This is Kyler Johnson. Picks up 2 yards on the quick hitter. They haven't really thrown the ball at McElwain at all. He's been lined up over Haas most of this game. Here's the give to Kramer. Kramer runs through a couple of arm tackles, then he is pushed backwards after picking up 6. That'll bring up a 3rd down and 2 from the 42-yard line. Three receivers left, 1 receiver to the right, the near side. That's Haas with McElwain on top of him. Here's the give to Kramer. Kramer spins around his own blocker and gets down inside the 30 to the 28. As he's been picking up chunks of yardage every time he's touched the ball.
This is definitely going to be a college highlight reel for Mr. Kramer.
Kramer again around the right side. Picks up about 5-6 yards down to the 22. They're going to spot him out at the 23, so it'll bring up 2nd down and 5 after the 5-yard pickup by Kramer. Eastmont's defense needs to hold here. Down by 21. A little bit of an option look. Holcomb is going to take off. He leaps over a defender who was knocked to the ground and then gets dragged down at the 19. There's a flag that came in late. 2 of them, actually. I'm not sure if they're for the same thing. We'll wait for the official signal. There might have been a late block on Puyallup. The Puyallup players certainly seem to be going backwards. I'm not sure what the other flag is. The flag sits right at the 19, which is where Holcomb ended up getting tackled. So it's going to be a personal foul on Puyallup. I don't know if you caught the official talking about the call. So it was a dead ball foul. It was after the play. A late block on Puyallup, so the down will count, and that'll bring up 3rd down and about 16 after the 15-yard penalty. So now I'm sure we'll get to see Holcomb throw the ball. 3 receivers left, 1 to the right, shotgun formation. And just as I say that, he gives it to Kramer. Kramer's through the line of scrimmage. He's into the secondary and out of bounds inside the 25 at the 24. So we'll see what Coach Jeffers decides to do here, as it's 4th and 5, and he's not even flinching. He's leaving his offense out there on the field. After the 11-yard pickup by Kramer makes it a 4th and manageable. Oh, and the hard count gets the defensive lineman to jump off. That's going to be 5 yards. I'm not sure it's going to be enough for a 1st down. It's going to be awfully close. I think they were about 4th and 5.5. Yeah, it's going to be about half a yard short of a 1st down, so 4th and half a yard. You got to think this is probably Kyle Kramer time here. So we've played just over 4 minutes in this 3rd quarter. They're going to keep it. Holcomb's going to keep it. The design quarterback run, and he picks up almost 5 yards and plenty for a 1st down just inside the 15. So that time Kramer was the lead blocker on the design quarterback run. And Holcomb, certainly a capable runner, picks up the 1st down. There's another option look. Oh, and a late pitch, and Kramer has it. Kramer's up the sideline inside the 10, down to the 5-yard line. They'll mark him out at the, right at the 5. It's a pickup of about 9 for Kramer. That's a dangerous looking pitch there for Holcomb. He's had a couple of those. They've all connected, but boy, it gets a tough defense like Eastmont. Those are dangerous plays. That could shift the momentum in a hurry in this one. 2nd down and 1. Give it to Kramer. Kramer cuts back to the left, and he's into the end zone untouched for his 3rd rushing touchdown of the day. That's the hat trick for Kyle Kramer. (30-3), Puyallup on top.
What a game for Kyle Kramer.
He is absolutely unstoppable out there today. Proving on an already brilliant season where he rushed for over 1,200 yards. Carter Pierce, the extra point is up and good. 31-3 with 7:30 to go. It's a spot that Eastmont certainly has not found themselves in this year, trailing by 4 scores like they are now.
Let's hope the coaching staff can make some adjustments.
Yeah, they're going to have to dig deep, but, you know, you don't finish the season 9-1 without some resolve. I don't expect this team that's now made the playoffs for the first time in 6 years, only the second time in 32 years, to go away anytime soon.
Well, the beautiful thing about high school football is there's always a chance.
It's going to be tough with the way this Eastmont team runs the ball, but like I said, we've seen Everhart. He's got a good-looking arm. I don't know if they have the plays in the playbook for him to be able to uncork a few. Carter Pierce waits to kick it deep. Massey and McElwain are back to receive it. McElwain's going to take it inside his own 5. Massey cuts back to left, now cuts up the middle. And he gets stopped at about the 24-yard line. So about a 20-yard return for McElwain. And that's where Everhart and this offense will take over. Shotgun. So I guess we're going to see Eastmont, and I respect this. You got to play to win this game. There's no tomorrow. The loser's out of the state tournament. They're going to throw it deep to Massey. Massey has a man beat. Oh, and it's just off the left hand of Kalen Massey. Out of his slot position, he beat the corner who was in front of him. That was number 4, Dakota Bramsch. On the outside was number 44, Angel Sanchez in the area. But Massey had a step on both, and Everhart's arm was just too big that time as he put that ball deep down the field. It was almost a 50-yard throw there by Everhart.
Yeah, the Wildcats quarterback has a heck of an arm.
6'6" junior took over the starting spot week 5 of the season from Massey, who he just intended that pass to. So now they go back under center after that one play in shotgun. It's going to be out sweep to Massey. That's worked a few times today, but not that time around, as Massey only picks up about a yard, maybe 2, out across the 25. That'll bring up 3rd down and long. We're going to put 3rd and 9 up on the board here. We've seen Everhart complete a couple passes on 3rd and long tonight. Let's see if he has another one in him. They've been rolling him out to the left a lot. I like to see the right-handed quarterback get out to his right side and get an opportunity to make a throw down the field. Looks like Puyallup is showing some pressure, and now they back out of it right before the snap. The snap, and they're going to go with that reverse. They give it off. On the reverse, it picks up some decent yardage. That was Gregerson. I'll bring up 4th down and 3 for Eastmont. Looks like the punting unit is going to come out on the field, though it's always hard to tell when you got Massey in there. I think if you're Puyallup, you have to be alert for a fake with the type of athlete that Massey is. 4th and 3, and Eastmont trailing by 28 points. Eastmont letting the play clock run down a bit. It's now at 5 seconds. Here's Massey. It's off a kick to the right side. And it checks up just about the 31, 32-yard line. That's where it'll be down, and that's where Puyallup and their offense will take over with Holcomb and Kramer and company. The man of the hour, Kyle Kramer. Coverage of tonight's game in the Wenatchee Valley on NCWLIFE is presented by Apple Valley Honda, where every new Honda comes with a lifetime warranty. I'm actually going to say it was first touched by Eastmont at the 33. So with 5:20 to go in the third quarter, Holcomb in the offense take over at their own 33. And again, this pistol look with three receivers right, one to the left. And the give is to Kyle Kramer. Who would have thunk it? Kyle Kramer is into the secondary. He's being chased by Jessup, and he's brought down, but not before. Kyle Kramer, one would think he has to be approaching the 200-yard mark with the way he's been running the ball today. He has those 3 touchdowns to go along with it. And another run there, this one by Holcomb. And just when you key in on Kramer, Holcomb can take off and do that. He picks up 9 yards. It'll be second down and very short here for this Puyallup offense. Here's a quick pass to Haas. Haas, with his, I think it's his first catch of the day. That's a first down at the 22-yard line. Puyallup looking poised to go in for another score. Let's see if the Eastmont defense can hold. The offense checks the sideline for the play call. We're now under 4:30 to play in the third quarter. Stewart goes in motion. Here's the give on the sweep to Stewart. Stewart breaks a few tackles, and then he gets tripped up by McElwain inside the 10 at the 8-yard line. Boy, we saw Stewart return the opening kickoff of this game for big yardage down to the the Eastmont 44. And you can see his wheel there as he took that jet sweep around the right side. We do have an injured player for Eastmont on the field, right about the 20-yard line at the numbers. But Stewart took the opening kickoff back to the 44-yard line of Eastmont. He has some speed. Again, he's their third leading receiver on this Puyallup team. 7 receiving touchdowns on the year. Of course, the 2 big guys on the outside, Darius Morrison and Justin Haas, have been the go-to targets for Holcomb. So it's interesting. We talked about the Hewards and the Holcombs earlier in the broadcast. Talked about Nathaniel Holcomb, who had the state record with 10 touchdown passes in a game before his career at Puyallup was over with. And then Sam Heward, that last name should ring a bell. His dad and uncle Brock and David Heward went to Puyallup High School. Mike Heward, his grandpa, coached at Puyallup High School. Sam just tied that record this year at Kennedy Catholic with 10 touchdown passes in week 1 against Chief Self, as the injured player for Eastmont is up, and I can't tell the jersey under his own power. It's number 51 for Eastmont, Jack Gunmanson. But yeah, the Holcombs, they had Nathaniel, Jake, and then the sophomore is Luke Holcomb. The Hewards had Damon and then Brock, and the youngest one was also Luke. Quite the quarterbacking pedigree here at Puyallup High School they've had over the years. Another quarterback they also had is Eric Curley, who's the coach at Graham Kapowski, who's now a rival of the Puyallup Vikings. Oh, a little confusion there on that play. It looked like Kramer thought the option play was supposed to go to the left. Holcomb ran it to the right. He recognized quickly that they were on the same page and picks up positive yardage down to the 6. So this Eastmont team, before Coach Don took over, they only had 2 winning seasons since 2000. Now they've had winning seasons in 3 of the last 4 years since he took over, including this playoff appearance this year. Here's the give to Kramer off the left side. Jones for number 8, having his jersey. Kyle Kramer's got to be the MVP of this game.
Without a doubt.
And boy, this is one of the more, I'm telling you, this kid Holcomb can sling the ball. If this is the first time you're watching Puyallup, you wouldn't think he could because he hasn't had to tonight. Kyle Kramer's been that good. This is one of the more well-rounded offenses in the state of Washington. Again, a tough draw for Eastmont getting the 12 seed and then having this Puyallup team with only one loss as Carter Pierce is perfect on extra points with 5 of them this evening. But remember, Puyallup's one loss came to the number 1 seed, the Union Titans, a team that won their first round matchup 50-10 tonight. And that game was on the road in a game where Puyallup led the entire way. A late touchdown by Union put the Titans on top of the Vikings. And that's the lone blemish for this Puyallup team. So at the 5 seed, they're certainly a team to watch out for. Now, next week, they could potentially have to travel to Mount Si, and then I'm not sure what would happen if Mount Vernon was able to pull off the upset. To 7, Beach on top. Try to get you some other scores around the state. Mount Spokane is beating Timberline 20-13 at the half. Boy, the Royal Knights continue their dominance at the 1A level. They're on top 38-0 right now in their first round matchup. Didn't get a jersey number on the return man, but he has a good return out across the 25. Well, that was McElwain. Just moving so fast, I just couldn't pick up a jersey number on McElwain. That's a good return out to about the 28 for McElwain. Puyallup team trying to win a state championship. I'm telling you, this 4A is stacked this year. It is. There are 5, maybe 6 teams that just look as strong as ever at the 4A level. Any one of them could win the state title. Well, they're going to do a little wildcat look. This is Talley at quarterback. And he fakes the give, and then he picks up good yardage. That's his best run of the night, about 7 yards across the 35 for Carson Talley. And Talley is not the tallest of players. 5'10", 180 pounds, and he kind of gets lost in behind that offensive line on that play. And before you know it, he squirts out and actually give him a pickup of 8 on the play. So yeah, out to the 36-yard line. 2nd and 2 from there as Everhart comes back in. This might be a down where you might see a shot taken from Eastmont. But no, they're going to give it out of the backfield. This is number 9, Cannon. Cannon is hit after a minimal gain. And they're going to rule he picks up the first down at the 38-yard line. So Cannon got right to the 38, which was the yard marker to gain. 2:29 to go in the third quarter. 38-3, Puyallup on top. And a dominating performance this evening. Eastmont just unable to stop this Vikings offense. They've had a few short fields to work with thanks to a fumble on a kickoff return and that opening long kickoff return by Stewart. Talley again, the wildcat look, and fakes the give to we haven't called Victor Welton a lot tonight. Welton's 3rd on this team in rushing yards with 368 yards and 6 touchdowns. I only remember 1 carry for Welton. It was early on. Talley's going to throw it. Talley puts it up looking for Massey, and a one-handed interception on the near side. That's some Odell Beckham stuff, but by a defensive player. Angel Sanchez with the pick, and the sophomore goes up and just brings it down with one paw.
He made it look easy.
Looks like he's done that before. What an interception there. As Talley threw it up, tried to give Massey a chance to make a play, but he overthrew him. Now it'll be 1st and 10 Puyallup at their own 40. Looks like Kramer might get the rest of the night off as they got Kyler Johnson in the backfield. Here's the give to Johnson. Johnson lowers his shoulder, picks up 4 yards. So not quite the burst that Kramer has, but a good run there on 1st down by Johnson. One minute to go now in the 3rd quarter as Holcomb and the offense look to the sideline. Here's the give again to Johnson. Good penetration there by the front for Eastmont as they wrap up Johnson, and he's only able to pick up a yard on the play. That was Will Rounds on the tackle, the sophomore defensive lineman. Let's see if Holcomb will throw here under 30 seconds to go now in the 3rd quarter. 3rd down and 5. Holcomb is going to throw it, and he finds Stewart. Stewart gets wrapped up but stays on his feet before McElwain brings him down inside the 40 at the 36. With 13 seconds to go in the 3rd quarter. Well, Puyallup doesn't have to run another play in this 3rd quarter, but it looks like they're getting the line of scrimmage, and they might. As the clock winds with the chains being reset. And Puyallup is not going to run another play this quarter. At the end of 3, it's the Vikings 38, Eastmont 3. We'll be right back with more live coverage of the WIAA State 4A playoffs next on the NCWLIFE channel and ABC Jam Productions on the NFHS network.
Peace of mind. It's what everybody desires when it comes to ownership of a car. When you purchase and service a car from Apple Valley Honda, we're going to give you a warranty on your new Honda, and it's going to be for life. As a car owner, you pay dollars to insurance companies to maintain the appearance of your car. At Apple Valley Honda, you'll pay nothing to help you maintain the mechanics of your car. And again, it's for life. At Apple Valley Honda, our customers are valued, and they deserve the peace of mind that comes with a warranty for life. So come visit us. We would love to see you.
NCWLIFE Channel is proud to present the Spotlight on Business. We're going behind the scenes to bring you the story of local businesses throughout North Central Washington. How did they get started, and why are they so successful? We'll answer these and other questions each week with Spotlight on Business, Sundays through Fridays on the NCWLIFE Channel.
We'll be moving on to the next round. It would take a minor miracle for that not to be the case. Here's Kyler Johnson with the run off the right side. Johnson gets down inside the 25 to the 22-yard line. Kramer does have his helmet off on the sideline. His night is most certainly done. He's got to save those legs for the rest of this run for this Puyallup Viking team. Holcomb gets the play call from the sideline. Here's the pitch to Johnson. And the option play, and Johnson gets to the sideline after a pickup of 6 or 7 yards. Second down and 3, under 11:30 to go now in the game. In the state of Washington, there's a running clock if it gets to a 42-point lead, and with a touchdown and a converted extra point, That would be the case here today at Spark Stadium. Holcomb fakes, he's going to keep it. Holcomb gets to the right side, he cuts back, and he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Puyallup. From 16 yards out, Holcomb keeps it, gets into the end zone. 44-3, Puyallup on top. And the band is rocking here. The fans are excited. They know they have a team that could be playing in the Tacoma Dome in late November, early December. Carter Pierce on for the extra point, which would make it a 42-point lead. The extra point is up and good, 45-3. Puyallup on top. Coverage of tonight's game in the Wenatchee Valley on NCWLIFE is presented by Apple Valley Honda, where every new Honda comes with a lifetime warranty. That lifetime warranty is the good news for Wenatchee tonight. After this next kickoff, there should be a running clock as we've reached that 42-point lead mark. And it's not an insulting thing, it's just it kind of protects the kids late in games. Young men can tend to get frustrated looking up at that score. You don't need extra plays being run when the outcome of the game is not in doubt. But Eastmont, with a heck of a season, they will wind up 9-2 on the year and a state playoff berth for the first time since 2012 and only the second time since 1986. So Coach Don, coming over from Meadowdale High School, certainly has this Eastmont team headed in the right direction. Winning the league title this year.
Well, and they have another year with that amazing quarterback.
Yeah, 6'6" junior Everhart. Unfortunately for them, Massey will be moving on, but Wesley McElwain will be back next year, as will Carson Payne, who's on their offensive and defensive line, another junior, one of their captains. They do have some youth on this team that'll be coming back. It's certainly a team you'll have to watch out for in the coming years. It takes time to build a program. Coach Don certainly has them on the right track. Coach Jeffers for Puyallup, most definitely on the right track as his team poised for a deep run in this tournament. Here's McElwain on the return. He's up across the 30, still on his feet. There's no quitting these kids, and you love seeing that. First and 10 from the 32-yard line for Everhart in the offense. Now under 11 minutes to go in the game. Everhart back under center. It's been a pretty clean played game. We had some penalties early on, Justin, but after that, I mean, not a lot of flags flying in this one.
I mean, I don't think there's been a flag since the half.
Yeah, it's pretty clean, which is what you love to see. You love to see the kids deciding these contests rather than a lot of laundry on the field. I like to see officials talking to the young men out there. There's a timeout on the field. Eastmont takes their first charge timeout of the second half. See if we can get you some from some scores from around the state.
I particularly am interested in that Mount Si game.
Yeah, I haven't seen an update on the score in a while. Mount Si's Twitter is pretty active, but they don't update the score every tweet. was 20-17 at the half. Mount Vernon on top of Mount Si. I think maybe we read off a wrong score earlier because I thought it said 21-7 with like 46 seconds left in the half. And here's the give to Welton. Welton picks up 9 yards out across the 40. Nice gain there by Welton. And sometimes, you know, when you get to this point in the season, I'm not in the business of making excuses for anybody, but sometimes when you get to this point in the season, it's which teams are the most healthy when you get to this point, because football is such a violent sport and injuries are a part of it. We've seen a few kids go down tonight. But you have to wonder if maybe Welton is a little banged up, but as a senior, got to give the kid some touches here in what will be his last game at the high school level. Kalen Massey, the league MVP, his last high school. That was Talley up the middle. Talley's another young man who's just a junior, and he was a second-team all-league running back. Picks up first down yardage. Sparks Stadium, it's a heck of a venue. We had the pleasure of talking to Clayton Sparks earlier, the son of Carl Sparks, who the stadium is named after, the former Puyallup head coach. He was given the head coaching job back in 1940. Well, here's a big run by Talley off the right side. And he's down to the Puyallup 35. Yeah, Carl Sparks got the head coaching job here in 1940, and his son Clayton Sparks has been a fan ever since. The longest running Puyallup football fan. You got a chance to meet him earlier this evening, and you can find him at every single Puyallup game, donning the Viking purple. You know, you look at across the way, and not a Wildcat fan has moved. The cheerleaders are still cheerleading. The players are all standing up on the bench supporting their teammates. The fans across the way, nobody has moved an inch. Wonder if they're making the drive back tonight or if any of them are staying the night here on this part of the state. Here's the run by Welton, and he is tackled by number 4, Dakota Bramshaw. Mount Vernon leads 24-17 now after a field goal over Mount Si. Boy, that would be some upset if they can win that one. Eastside Catholic is beating Lake Washington 21-0 nearing the end of the first half, excuse me. Here's the give to Talley, and Talley is wrapped up and then thrown to the ground by number 23, Michael Wakowitz III.
3rd and 3.
Nice little drive here by Eastmont as some different players are getting some looks for both of these units out on the field. The offense for Eastmont and the defense for Puyallup. Under 7 minutes to play now with this running clock. Everhart awaits the snap, and here's the give. Oh no, he fakes it, and here's a sweep to Massey. Boy, the Puyallup defense, these players to keep this drive alive as we are halfway through or nearing the halfway point of this fourth quarter. So Puyallup will be playing the winner of that Mount Vernon-Mount Si game. Remarkable that game is 7-point difference with Mount Vernon on top. Talley with the run off the left side, picks up first down yardage down to the 22. He needed 1, he got 3. Everhart under center once again. This Eastmont team made it to the quarterfinals in the state tournament 4 times in the 80s. And then 1 time in 1978, and didn't make it back to the state playoffs until 2012. They got eliminated in the first round by Auburn Riverside. There's Welton on the carry.
Second and 6.
Eastmont, you can see how this rushing offense throughout the year has been able to churn out yardage. They've shown some flashes tonight of it. Unfortunately, the front for this Puyallup team has just been too much to handle.
They've been running into a purple wall.
Yeah. Old Vikings defense, the Minnesota Vikings defense, the Purple People Eaters. That's what the Puyallup team has looked like tonight. And there's a throw and a touchdown grab. That's number 8 with the touchdown, his 5th touchdown of the year. That's Tanner Nelson. Nelson had literally every other catch this year for him has been a touchdown. That's his 10th catch of the year. He has 5 touchdowns. With 4:11 on the clock, Wenatchee gets in the end zone for the first time, making it 45-9. The extra point is up and good by Massey. So 45-10 with just over 4 minutes to play in this contest. And the student section across the way is on their feet, giving the Wildcat fans something to cheer about. I'm sure the fans back home watching us are at least cheering on these kids. They round out this season. What a grab there, too, as the ball was kind of underthrown by Everhart. Even with as strong as his arm is, the ball was kind of underthrown. And then Nelson just went up, 6'4", 195 pounds, strong hands. The senior went up and snatched it over the top of that defensive back.
It's always nice when kids don't give up on that fourth quarter. Just play to the end. It
would be so easy to pack it in, right? I mean, you know, it's tough to get yourself to want to play when you can look up at that scoreboard and see the scores. The players are a little thrown off. The players lined up at the wrong end of the field. Both teams lined up in the wrong way. Eastmont should be going left to right, and they lined to them now. Well, as the game has slowed down, I'm sure the players have gotten more cold. When you're moving and the game is, you know, fast paced, you maybe don't feel the cold as much.
But when things slow down, it creeps in.
Yeah. So we talked about Puyallup losing last year to Monroe in the first round of playoffs. That was 21-14. There's a return by Stewart. He started off the game with a nice return, and here's another one almost out to the 40. Puyallup lost in the championship game back in '92 to Newport, 48-21. Actually lost back-to-back years in '91 and '92 to Cascade Everett the year before that. They won the championship over Gonzaga Prep in 1987. 27-21 was the final in that one. That was their lone championship. Last year broke a string of 11 years of missing the state tournament. Last appearance before last year was in 2006, where they lost to Skyview 14-9. Here's the give. I believe that was Johnson on the carry. Luke Holcomb is in the game now for Puyallup. That's number 23 on the carry. Walkowitz, we've seen him make a couple of tackles on defense, and Walkowitz now with the carry. So Puyallup advancing past the first round in the playoffs for the first time since 2005, when they went to the state semifinals and lost to Skyline. Nice moment here for the Vikings on their home field. looking to win their second state championship in school history. Walkowitz off the right side. Boy, Walkowitz running through some tackles, gets out of bounds and picks up a first down. Now under 2:30 to play. Score is 45-10. Puyallup in the lead convincingly. Our player of the game, what do you think, Justin? Has to be Kyle Kramer.
Without a doubt.
Four touchdowns. We don't have his exact yardage total. It's got to be in the ballpark of 200 yards, one would think, with how he was churning the yards tonight.
Easily.
So Kyle Kramer, our ABC Jam Productions player of the game. As Puyallup's going to advance. Jacob Holcomb didn't have to do a whole lot through the air. We didn't see a whole lot of Morrison or Haas, who have both had spectacular years. Haas with 11 touchdowns and nearly 1,000 yards. Morrison with 9 touchdowns and nearly 700 yards on the year. Neither of them had to put in a lot of work today. It was the defense who held firm against this offense. The rushing attack for Eastmont led by Uluilakepa. And here's Walkowitz. Boy, Walkowitz is just a bowling ball out there as he bangs his way down to the 29-yard line. And there's now 1 minute to go in this contest and a quarterfinal berth for the Puyallup Vikings. This offensive line for Puyallup. Boy, both the offensive and defensive line really leading the charge for the Vikings. It's a little cliche, but games are really won in the trenches. And the trench work has certainly gone to the Vikings today. 40 seconds now on the clock. Likely going to be one more play run by the Vikings. And then it'll be all over. The Vikings will play the winner of Mount Vernon and Mount Si. It's going to be the Vikings against some sort of Mount in the state quarterfinals. And because they're the 5 seed, they're on the same side of the bracket as Union, who's the one team that beat them this year. That would be a semifinal matchup if they can make it that far. Union being the 1 seed. But what a season for Coach Don and this Eastmont team, finishing up 9-2 in a state tournament appearance. The final is 45-10. Puyallup comes away with a victory over Eastmont in convincing fashion. Nothing to hang your head about if you're an Eastmont kid, student, athlete, coaching staff member, parent. What a season for this team, as Coach Don certainly seems to have them headed in the right direction. But Coach Jeffers and the Vikings are moving on. Their opponent is to be determined. But Kramer, Holcomb, Uluilakepa and company will certainly be ready. And we'll be ready for more coverage throughout these state playoffs. Make sure you follow us at ABC Jam Pro to see where we'll be on a weekly basis. We have one more game tomorrow as Meade comes over the mountain to take on Graham Kapowson, another SPSL team. Tomorrow at 1 p.m. We also have that Lincoln Rainier Beach game going on right now. That's in the 4th quarter, and it's a tight one if you want to jump over to that one on the NFHS network. But we thank you so much for joining us here at the for this WIA State 4A playoff matchup on NCWLIFE channel and the NFHS network, courtesy of ABC Jam Productions. We really thank you for joining us, and we hope you'll join us the rest of the way as we come down the stretch here in the state of Washington. For my videographer, Steve Ryder, my producer/broadcast partner, Justin Pleasance, I'm Matthew Bissett saying so long from Carl Sparks Stadium in Puyallup, Washington. Have a good night.
Thanks for watching High School Sports on the NCWLIFE channel. Tonight's broadcast was brought to you by Alignment Pros, Automoca, Color FX, Global Car Care, One Way Construction, and the Windmill Restaurant. NCWLIFE channel's coverage is also brought to you by Charter College and the Walkabout Grill. This concludes today's coverage of high school sports on your home for local sports, the NCWLIFE channel.